What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to D+Pad Life, and today we are going to discuss the latest state of play. And man, what a show. Sony really came and showed out, didn't they? I was personally very impressed by the show. Well, let me get that correct. I said Sony came and showed out, but I mean, there wasn't too many Sony exclusive games. You know, Sony made first party stuff, but man, they really had a brilliant lineup of titles to help people get hyped for the year 2026. I mean, this is looking to be an amazing, amazing year for video games, and I am personally extremely excited. And so I thought I'd take some time to kind of talk to you about the games that stuck out to me from this state of play and the reasons why I'm feeling invested into them and why I'm excited to play them. But before we do that, comment down below. Let me know what games you're excited from the state of play. There was just so much good stuff shown here. So many games that like there was something for everybody. That's what it felt like to me. It felt like there was something for everybody. And I'm just really looking forward to getting my hands on some of these titles. So let's not waste any time. Let's jump right into it. The first game they opened the show with was Kena Scars of Cosmora. Now, Kena, was it Bridge of Spirits or something like that? That game was a launch game for the PlayStation 5, and I've played it. I haven't ever beaten it. It was a game that I rented from the library. I was checking it out, and then ultimately I got distracted by other stuff, primarily backlog stuff. I remember I was playing that and I was having a good time, and there was other games I got from the library, as well as I keep going back to my backlog. I keep thinking like I've got to play what I own. And so Kena ultimately fell onto the back burner, but it's something I've always wanted to get back to. And man, after seeing the trailer for this sequel, it has lit a fire under me to get my hands on that game again and beat it. It's definitely a game I care to own. I've wanted it for a really long time, and I've been on the hunt for a really long time, but I can't seem to find it used anywhere. I often find it for the PlayStation 4, but I very rarely find it for the PlayStation 5. And so I'm going to be keeping my eye out, but in the meantime, I'm going to be picking that one up from the library again, and I'm definitely going to make sure I get that beaten this year. So when the time comes and I'm ready to pick up part 2, I could just pick that up and get to it. Next up, well, actually, let me talk about what I liked about what I saw in part 2. So it looks like this is going to be a much larger world. You have a mount now, which tells me that the areas you're going to be traversing must be much larger, right? If they were as linear or as tightly crafted as they were in the first game, I don't think they'd be offering you such a large mount that travels at the speeds it does. So it seems that Ember's Lab has created a much larger world here, which is cool. It's fun to see that Kena has grown up some and that she has become a more developed spirit guide. I just think that that level of progression is exciting and cool. And ultimately, I mean, it was more of the same. Beautiful graphics. The combat looks like it's got a huge injection as far as like speed and reactivity, which is a little concerning. I like the combat in the first game, but honestly, man, it was challenging for me. There were some parts where I was like, man, I'm getting my butt kicked here. But hopefully, you know, with the sequel, there'll be some multiple difficulty options and we can work our way through that. But I thought Kena 2 looked really, really great. Super looking forward to that one. For me, that was actually my game of the show. I've really, really enjoyed Kena 1. I was not expecting a Kena 2. There had been no hints that this was happening. And the fact that it not only got announced, but it got announced to drop this year, amazing, astounding. I'm so looking forward to that. Next up, they showed Death Stranding 2 coming to the PC. Now, I'm not exactly a Death Stranding fan, and I'm not a PC gamer, so why would I be bringing this up? Well, I want your opinions on Death Stranding. I want to know if you guys think it's as good as some people say. I've heard people say they love it. I've heard some people say they hate it. I messed around with Death Stranding 1, the PS5 port. I got it from the library like I do most games, and I took it for a spin. But again, it was like, okay, I kind of see what this is doing here. I heard that game takes several hours before it really starts to pick up and really starts to get good. I felt like I got a bit of a taste for it and decided, you know, okay, if I find it used for cheap enough, maybe I'll just pick it up. But I wasn't convinced. So it's definitely something that I'm probably going to need to pick up again to try again. I've only heard great things about Death Stranding 2, though, which makes me kind of want to invest into this series. So comment down below. What do you think of Death Stranding? Is it a game you can recommend? I feel like it's a hard game to recommend for people, but if you can recommend it, I'd love to hear why you recommend it. Next up was Pragmata, coming out April 24th of this year, just right around the corner. That'll be here before we know it. We're already like halfway through February. So that's only like a month and a half away. Well, I guess like 2 months away, basically. And I've played the demo. If you haven't checked out the demo for Pragmata yet, man, you're doing yourself a disservice. That game is fun, you guys. It is really fun. It's a new IP, something new and fresh and exciting from Capcom. Personally, I'm looking forward to Pragmata more than I am Resident Evil 9 or Onimusha. I think it's going to be a really, really fun experience. So that one's hard to not want to get day one. Currently, finances are caught up with some pretty important stuff. And so it's hard to create room in the budget for a brand new $70 game. But rest assured, at some point, I will definitely be picking up Pragmata and playing that. Then there's Resident Evil 9, which comes out later this month. It's right around the corner now. And I did not watch this trailer. I did not bother with this trailer. I didn't watch the last trailer for RE9. I watched about a minute of it and thought, I'm seeing some cool stuff. I'm seeing some intriguing stuff. It's got me with some questions. Let me go ahead and cut this off so that when I play the game, I go in blind more or less and it can feel really fresh. So I'm on blackout from Resident Evil 9. I'm not looking for any Resident Evil 9 context or information or communication. So please leave that sort of stuff out of the comments. But I'm looking to get my hands on RE9 shortly, but like when it launches or shortly thereafter. So we will be covering it on the channel. It will be part of the Resident Evil discussion series, but I've also got a couple more surprises for that Resident Evil discussion series coming up soon. So stay tuned for that. If that's a series I've done that you've enjoyed, feel rest assured that I have a couple, 2 episodes technically I guess with 9, 3 episodes in the works. There's going to be 3 more parts to that series in the relatively near future. Coming up next was Legacy of Kain Defiance Remastered, coming out March 3rd. So again, right around the corner, only like 3 weeks away, a little less maybe. Yeah, I think a little less. And that's crazy. That's crazy, man. So it's cool because they just recently redid the remasters of Soul Reavers 1 and 2. And I know people really like those, and those were kind of cool. But what's really neat to me about the Legacy of Kain Defiance remaster is they've updated some of the character models, and I do think they look better, at least the ones they showed anyway. You can get alternate skins, which is fun. And they added, there was a tech demo of a sequel they were going to make that ultimately got canceled. They're actually going to include that in this, which I think that's one of the coolest things I've heard to come out with a remaster is a canceled game, like whatever they had made for the canceled game, letting us check that out. I think that is super freaking cool. So yeah, I'll probably be checking this out on the Switch. I have Soul Reaver 1 and 2 on the Switch, so probably just keep that there. I don't think I'll be getting that on PS5 or anything, but in any case, just very cool. March 3rd, right around the corner. And next up, as you see, I got her front and center here. We got Control Resonant coming out this year, 2026. That might be something you're noticing. So far, everything that they've talked about has been 2026 bound, which is super freaking cool. So much that they showed as coming out this year. And if Control Resonant has taught me anything, it's that, just like Kana, I need to get this played and beat. I'm not necessarily ecstatic for Control Resonant because I haven't played this one. I actually don't know a whole lot about the first game. I just know it intrigues me. I love Remedy. They make great games. I know this has some ties to the Alan Wake universe. I know there's like an Alan Wake DLC, and from what I understand, it's supposed to take place in the same universe. I don't know if that's true or not, but there seems to be some ties there. And as you can tell, I am an Alan Wake, an Alan Wake fan. I do like Alan Wake. So I want to get Control played this year. This is on my stack of games to play this year anyway, but now it's like get to it sooner rather than later. Control Resonant is announced for 2026, but it has not been given any more of a specific date than that. It looks really neat, looks really fun. A lot of like Gravity Rush style mechanics where you can fly and cling to different surfaces no matter their angle. Fun looking melee combat. I believe this one was more focused on shooting, so that's kind of intriguing that they switched it up like that. But I think it looks cool. I think it looks interesting. I just don't know anything about the universe and what type of story they're telling. So I don't know if it's a game that I absolutely want to check out and play yet, but I do have my eyes on it. Next, they showed Mina the Hollower. To be honest, I didn't catch the release date on this one because they released a demo and I played the demo. And sadly, this one's not for me. I was really looking forward to Mina the Hollower. I thought it looked really cool. I still think it looks cool. And it plays really well, but it's actually like a 2D Souls-like. And I don't like Souls games. I don't like the Dark Souls games, Demon Souls, and like Neo and all that sort of stuff. There's aspects of them I like, but ultimately the gameplay loop of dying and losing all your experience and having to go pick it up and high challenge and high reactive times and all of this stuff, I'm just no good at it. So ultimately I end up having a miserable experience. And I got to the boss in Mina the Hollower, and I'm sure with enough practice and enough trial and error, I probably could have figured him out, but I was like, I don't want to do that. That's not what I'm looking to do. So I was hoping it was more of like a Zelda style game, just maybe a little bit more fast paced, but it ultimately, just feels like a top down 2D Souls-like. So I'm passing on Mina the Hollower, at least for the time being, but there is a demo out, so be sure you check it out. The next game that caught my eye was Project Windless. This is the game that you might have seen or heard of. You're a giant humanoid chicken. Yes, a giant humanoid chicken. And this isn't some goofy looking game. Like, it's not meant to be funny. It's not cartoony looking. This game has realistic graphics. You're in a fantasy world. There's a lot of like demonic looking lizard people, or like, I'd say scaly humans, and he's just slaughtering them, man. It's extremely violent, extremely bloody, extremely brutal, and it looks kind of fun. What I've heard a lot of people saying is it reminds them of Dynasty Warriors. When I first watched the trailer, that didn't really cross my mind, but when I watched it a second time, and after hearing people say it, that's all I could see. And I'm not exactly a fan of the Dynasty Warriors games. I find that they get pretty boring pretty quick. They're just kind of dull, but if anything, this looks like a more fun version of those. I just got my eye on this one. I don't think it's something I'm probably going to play, but it is fun to see, and it is fun to see something different, so I'm pretty curious about it, so I'll keep my eye on that. Next was 007 First Light, coming out May 27th. Again, really not that far off. I got mixed feelings on 007 First Light. I think what I'm experiencing, what a lot of other people are experiencing, which is you want to like this game, you want to be excited for this game, but you're finding it hard to find that. And I think ultimately what I take away from the trailers that I've seen is like, this is a 007 that is made for a younger generation. It's made for a younger audience, because the feeling I keep coming away with is I don't feel like I can relate to this guy. I don't feel like I understand what makes this guy tick per se, or why he would be considered cool. Like, I look at him and I don't see a cool guy. He doesn't give me that energy. But however, what I will say is with this latest trailer, the gameplay does look fun. It does look like it's probably going to be a pretty darn fun game. So I think this will be another library rental for me. I'll check it out there, see what I think of it. And if it's really great and I really like it, maybe I'll pick it up. But I do love James Bond games, especially the third-person ones. So I got my eye on it, but I'm not convinced that I'm going to like it. All right, next up was the Metal Gear Solid Masters Collection Volume 2. I have Volume 1 right here, and Volume 2, man, it's really cool that they're releasing this. I had a feeling when they named this Volume 1 that they would be announcing a Volume 2 at some point, but I wasn't convinced, and I'm so glad that they are. We are finally getting Metal Gear Solid 4 off the PlayStation 3, and that is huge. Not only that, it's running at 60 frames per second, and it's been up-resed. Oh, it looks good. It looks nice. I've only played that game the one time. I pre-ordered that game, picked it up, took 2 days off of work, and sat down and beat it in one sitting. It took me 25 hours to beat the game. I even fell asleep during the ending because it's such a long ending. The only breaks I took were to take my mom to work, pick her up from work, and take her to work again, and maybe pick her up again. And on each of those trips, I grabbed Jack in the Box. I had a sourdough Jack or a patty melt or something like that. I think I got the patty melt, actually. And that's what I survived on, and I beat the game in one sitting, and I haven't touched it since. I enjoyed the experience, but I ultimately found, like, probably my least favorite Metal Gear Solid game in regards to just, like, how little gameplay there really was. But cool little game. I'll be definitely excited to revisit it on a modern console. And then also we finally get Peace Walker on the modern console, which is one of the entries I've yet to play, and I've only heard good things, so I will definitely be checking out Peace Walker. I think when I return to the Metal Gear series, I'll be playing the remake of Snake Eater, then I'll play Peace Walker, then I probably will skip Metal Gear 1 and 2, and I'll jump right to Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2, and then jump to 4. I do plan on revisiting that series at some point because I do own the Phantom Pain, and I know there's a lot of mixed feelings about this one, but at some point I really do want to give it a nice, good old try and see if it can hold my attention. So really excited to see the Master Collection Volume 2 get announced. It's super cool. The next game announced, as again, it's not a game for me, but it caught my eye. I thought it was pretty cool. I'm really excited that this fan base gets to eat, and that was Castlevania Belmont's Curse, again, dropping in 2026. If I failed to mention, Volume 2 is dropping in August 27th, so later this year, so that's dope. It gives me plenty of time to play Delta and get myself ready for Peace Walker. But yeah, Belmont's Curse, again, it looks like a cool game. It looks like a fun Castlevania game, but that's just never been a series that has ultimately held my attention or that I've been really good at. I think it's cool. I actually think it's super cool. I haven't played a Castlevania game other than the Super Nintendo Super Castlevania 4 that I've been any good at. I get my butt handed to me, and ultimately, and I don't like Metroidvanias very much, so those like styles aren't super interesting to me. So I appreciate the games. I appreciate the fan base. I appreciate a lot about the games, but it's just not a style of game that I'm any good at, so I don't have fun playing it. But really happy to see that they're announcing a new old school style Castlevania with some more modern twist to it. It looks really great. And one of my brothers is a huge Castlevania fan, so I'm really excited that fan base gets to eat. Next up was Silent Hill Townfall, which looks incredible. Absolutely looks incredible. Konami, man, they came out swinging in this press conference, did they not? I mean, geez Louise. Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 2, Castlevania Belmont's Curse, Silent Hill Downfall. They even had another game, this octopus game, which didn't look too interesting to me, but yeah, Silent Hill Townfall, a first-person Silent Hill game. Now, if you know me and you've been paying attention to the channel, you know I'm not a huge fan of first-person games. I'm more of a third-person gamer myself, but I actually thought this looked really cool. I actually did. It's one of the first times in a while that I've seen a first-person game where I'm like, yo, I'm kind of digging this. And I can't explain to you why that is. Maybe just because it's different for Silent Hill. It's the first time that they've done a full first-person game. And so maybe that's really all there is to it. But I'm intrigued. I'm very intrigued. I want to see more of this game. I am excited that we're getting more Silent Hill. We're getting it at the pace that we are. I love Silent Hill, so definitely looking forward to Townfall. I think it's going to be a good one. Next, we had God of War Trilogy Remake. They are remaking all three games. Now, you got to wonder, are they just going to make one engine and just kind of rebuild all the games? Are these just going to be like super souped up remasters? What exactly are they doing? I suspect these are going to be full-blown remakes, and I don't think they're going to be in the style of the new games. I think they're probably just going to be the God of War 3 engine, more or less, for God of War 1, 2, and 3. And I'm okay with that. I'm cool with that. I would definitely love to run through the old Greek mythology with Kratos again. I actually do enjoy the old God of War games. I do not like the new ones, primarily because I'm not feeling the over-the-shoulder deal for it. The combat wasn't that fun to me, and the Norse mythology doesn't intrigue me at all, really. Greek mythology, I can dig. Norse mythology just wasn't vibing with me. This one did not get a release date, but we did get to see T.C. Carson, the original voice actor for Kratos, and he was pretty darn entertaining. He was being pretty goofy. It was fun to get to see him again and to hear he's going to be reprising his role. I thought that was really freaking cool because they could have just got the new voice actor, right, and just had him just to kind of make it more streamlined. But nah, dog, they're putting T.C. Carson back in the driver's seat, so I thought that was really, really slick. And no release date for this, obviously. It's a big project, but I suspect 2027, 2028, probably a 2028 release. 2027, we'll probably be hearing more about it. Wouldn't be shocked if this was like a launch game for the PlayStation 6. And then they showed one last game. Again, dropping in 2026, God of War Sons of Sparta. So this is a side-scrolling 2D game. Not exactly for me. Again, just not super into that style of video game, but it was cool to see God of War fans getting to eat. It was cool that they're bringing back the Greek mythology era of Kratos. That's the Kratos I know and love. Dados is cool, but just not for me. And so, yeah, it kind of ended on a whimper for me, but that was okay because, I mean, dude, there were so many games. I mean, look how long this video is. We're over 20 minutes, and I was really trying to keep it rolling. And just so many games that I'm excited for and looking forward to. Now, not all of these would be games that I would absolutely pick up, spend money on, or certainly not pick up day one, but it's a lot of stuff that I'm looking at like, man, I got to check that out. Man, that might be fun. Dude, I might like that. That was really cool. That was a cool experience to have. And there was, you know, listen to all the games I listed here. And there was way more games on this showcase. If you have not watched it yet, I will put a link in the comments below. Be sure you check that out. The showcase was phenomenal. Like, PlayStation knocked it out of the park. It was a really great show. One of their strongest showcases in a very long time. So that's all I got for you today, guys. Those are my thoughts about the latest PlayStation State of Play. I'd be curious to know, out of all the games that I mentioned, excuse me, which ones do you think I should be most focused on? Because I already told you the ones that kind of got my attention. Is there any that I mentioned that I might be sleeping on? Is there any that I could be more aware of? Like, should I be more excited for Control Resonant? Can I feel confident that this game is really good? Let me know what you guys think. And be sure you like the video. Be sure you subscribe. I upload 2 to 3 videos a week. It's a very active channel, and we're always just talking about fun and cool stuff and getting to hang out together. So if you enjoyed the conversation today, hit that like button. And if you enjoyed the energy, be sure you subscribe. I'd love to see you guys in the next one. And yeah, more content coming out soon, you guys. Be sure you subscribe to D+Pad Life. Take care. See you in the next one.